Okay, day 130, road to a million. It's late outside right now. I think it's 11:11 right now. If I'm 11:10 right now. I need to take a little bit of a walk first for me to take this video because I'm staying the night at this girl's house that I've been talking to for the past month. And yeah, I figured it would just be better for me to take a little walk around. It's like I just like walking. I haven't walked around her neighborhood yet. And it's something that I keep wanting to do. But it's crazy, dude, because right now, like, it is 11:11 right now. It's just crazy to see how, I guess, small little bits of progress can have massive amounts of change. Because who would have expected that right now I would be here doing this at this point in time? It's not something that I would have imagined. And yet here I am. So I think that's the big thing that I've started to take away from this whole thing is like just allowing myself to be in the places where I need to be and being open and communicative with said thing. I don't know if you see this at all. It's kind of cool. But it's just interesting. It's very interesting to me because I enjoy these moments. And I kind of just realized something as well too. So like we ended up just having a little fun. And this is the one time that I had never been aware of said situation. So it's really quite interesting because it's not something that I like had ever really paid that close of attention to. Because I never really thought that I needed to. And I'm starting to see that it is a good thing to be able to pay attention to those things and bring the awareness back into said experience, because it is a very, very useful thing to be aware of. And it takes time, it takes practice, it takes repetition, but like being able to bring that awareness back into it and be like, oh, okay, this is the same thing as this other time, or being able to relate it to a different experience and bringing the experience that I want back into my reality compared to an experience that I don't want in my reality. Like I was getting a little angry, a little upset at myself for not being able to perform in the way that I guess I expect myself to. It's just I have to constantly remind myself that in the beginning, I didn't have this. I couldn't be walking around in the middle of the night talking on my phone. Like it's taken 130 days at this point for me to be able to be comfortable doing something such as this. So it's the same thing with relationships, with sex. It's cool because it's the same thing with communication. It's the same thing with anything that we want to become good at. Is it takes practice, it takes repetition, it takes becoming aware and then making the small little adjustments and tweaks from that point. And that's something that I've started to take away is very useful if I do just continue doing what I do. And by bringing that awareness of like, okay, let me slow it down here. Like, let me take a breath, or let me go at my pace. Because from doing so, that makes me one of these. Like, and I think we all are our own unique individual person, which is absolutely fascinating to me. I find it very interesting and intriguing to see this whole approach, because it is it's a different approach than I've ever done. By bringing this awareness, by bringing this into my reality, it is quite fascinating to see. And yeah, like I was getting a little angry and upset that I had to do it with my fingers instead of like, and I just didn't like that whole thing. I'm like, I'd rather use what I have to my advantage compared to having to resort to this instead. And that's where the awareness, the acceptance, what would that be? The understanding that, hey, it just takes time, it takes practice, it takes repetition. As long as we continue moving forward, taking one step at a time, like, I'll make it. So I can't really be, not even can't really, I don't have to stress over it, because